Okay, so we will move to item 13. James, please.
Thank you, Chair. So this is the opportunity for the panel to consider its work programme for the year ahead and a couple of specific related matters. In saying that, I should emphasise that the work programme is a living document. It's been the practice in the past to present it to each meeting of the panel to update, amend as necessary, with a view to ensuring that the panel's resources and attention are focused on those areas that where it can make most difference. As with all scrutiny bodies, I think it's probably fair to say that there is probably much more that the panel could do than it has the capacity to do, so therefore there's an onus on it to prioritise, to focus, to make some tough choices at times about what it does do and what it may wish to do, but it isn't in a position to do. So, talking about the work programme generally, at Appendix A, page 135 onwards, there is an outline work programme presented there, which lists the statutory tasks that the panel is required to do and some suggestions for things that the panel may choose to do based on previous practice. And that's not necessarily just limited to activity at panel meetings either. The question of briefing sessions has been touched on already, whether that's with service chiefs, and something that the panel has done in the past that there may be room to discuss continuing if the panel wishes to do so, is around its involvement in the development of the Commissioner's proposed precepts. And then the appendix goes on to provide some further information about statutory tasks and a couple of items there that the previous panel has suggested might be included. And it's important to emphasise at that point that suggestions from the work programme can come from different sources, from individual panel members, from the previous panel, from the Commissioner, possibly from members of the public. But what's absolutely key is that the work programme should be the work programme set by this panel. It's for the panel to determine how it thinks it should focus, what it thinks it should do, the working methods it should use, reflecting the panel's remit and formal powers and responsibilities, and, as I say, with the aim of focusing attention, prioritising to achieve the best effect. And with that in mind, there's some text extracted from guidance within the body of the covering report about setting work programmes there also for your consideration. So that is the element of the report that deals with the general work programme. There are a couple of more specific matters. So the panel previously has been involved in two relevant networks. So there's an East Midlands Police and Crime Panels network, which where there is a cost of involvement, which can be met from the resources available from the panel if it chooses to do so. And the report gives some information about the purpose of that network. And then there is a National Association of Police, Fire and Crime Panels, which there is no cost to. And again, the report gives a flavour of the purpose of that group and the benefits of membership. So, the panel is asked whether to agree whether it wishes to continue its membership of those two network groups for 2024-25. Otherwise, this is an opportunity for the panel to discuss, populate its work programme for the year ahead as far as it wishes to do so at this point.
Thank you. So should we just see, do we wish to continue on those two?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Agree.
We need to compare ourselves with other bodies.
Share those practices.
Yeah.
Okay, this is doing all sorts of strange things. Councillor Mercer.
I have a working microphone. Yes, I particularly like the idea of carrying on with these two bodies. As many people will know here, not all, I usually attend them and I find them very useful. I'm on the executive of the National Association of Police Fire and Crime Panels. Get lots of interaction, interface with people from all over the country. And it is very useful. And in that conjunction, I'd like to just mention a couple of things that have come up at those meetings, just that they recommend or have in other places. The first one is, which we have done in the past, is have workshops for the budget, which I would ask, perhaps if we could continue, that'd be really useful. They've also, quite a few of them had similar workshops for the Police and Crime Plan, and as Councillor Stone has indicated, there may be, not necessarily workshops, but other opportunities for the panel to interact with that and have some interface. And the other thing that is quite often used by other panels is pre-meetings, so that we can get together and prepare, sometimes it's not just before the meeting, sometimes it's a day or two before the meeting, but they are things that I just throw out there as possibilities. And, as we've already said about briefings with the chiefs, I see that is listed as one of the items on there. I hope that's not going to be a casualty of a change in administration. Councillor Stone's not listening to me. I hope that's not going to be a casualty of the new administration to act that, but it's something we would really generally like to still have briefings with the chiefs.
Yeah.
Hopefully everybody heard that. Is this one working?
I'm going to ask the CEO to respond to that.
So in terms of meetings with chiefs, I think we've certainly heard today that there's an appetite to sort of know the new team better, and I think an offer's been made to put together some sort of event at maybe at Derby House to meet the chiefs outside of this forum, but specific to sort of understanding the team. We'd also like to offer specific briefings on interesting new developments, as has happened before. You had the Youth Violence Intervention Unit came and gave a briefing. We had the team working on fire culture, Serving with Pride is the brand, presented to members on that as well. So I think it's a good practice and it's a good thing for us to continue. But the Commissioner will want to reflect on topics that might be particularly good to bring to yourselves.
I've already mentioned.
It's off.
Off. It's off.
It's flashing.
Yeah, it's flashing. Use the other. Try this one.
I've already mentioned two areas that I thought you might be really interested in. One's neighbourhood policing and the other one is prevention in the fire and rescue service. There is a third one that we'll call the big conversation. So a huge amount of work has been done going out to people, asking them how they feel, where they feel safe, where they don't feel safe, what their concerns are and what they want us to do about it. I think it's a really important piece of work. I'm sure you will like to receive that too. So there are 3 suggestions for you.
Councillor Mercer.
I think you also mentioned emergency services cadets as another option as well.
Well, as part of maybe a bigger piece around youth, that would certainly be a part of it. And then, of course, I want to bring the draft plan to you. So maybe that would be in December, that's the December meeting. But I think, the plan is one thing. I think you understanding it in a bit more detail, different elements of the work, would be useful. Would be useful to you, and I would like to share it as well.
Thank you. Dr. Cuss.
That would be really helpful, because I think any plan should be able to tell the story. So if we can sort of do the reflective piece and what you're going to looking forward to, and then how it's going to all work around the priorities with infographics, I think it'd make a really interesting plan to debate and actually have that conversation and give it some, yeah, it'd be really good to do that. I really look forward to that. So thank you.
And in relation to the finance update, more than happy to continue the workshop we have before the precept meeting. So I'll host that in the usual kind of way, because I think that's a really valuable thing to do. Thank you. Andre?
Can I just make a request? Not sure if my friends work at all. Excellent. Is that when we have reports presented, just to make everyone's life a lot more sort of, should we say, straightforward, robust, and pragmatic, is that we have reports that aren't 120 pages long. I'm sure nobody values that. It takes up far too much officer time from everywhere. And if we have some slimmed down reports with some really, straight plans on a page, everyone will be able to focus far better on that. So it's not that I don't like to see the detail. I absolutely do, and I drill down into it. But I would like to see a plan on a page that's much more, effective. Thank you.
And just to come back on that, I'm with you all the way. I think brevity is next to godliness. And for example, the annual report plan that you've taken today is a tenth of the size of the first draft. So I think trying to apply some of that rigour around boiling things down to the core is key. That said, oh goodness me, I think we've broken all of the microphones because we've been here for quite a long time. That said, the overall pack is obviously the business of the panel, but our inputs will certainly aim for brevity and
timeliness, if I may then also add that we have the reports sent out. Yeah. I know there's a bit of an interarrangement between us as a hosting authority, but if we can have the data far earlier, far sooner, it would make sense to everyone. Thank you. I still have yet to receive my packs, but I know that Officer James is aware of that. Thank you.
I think that's been noted. So just one item here. We've got a date at the moment for the 5th of September, and the Commissioner's office can't attend that because you could can't. So James is advising whether we consider either the 12th or the 19th of September. Yeah, no, there's an NNC meeting in the morning of the 12th.
I've got place as well.
19th?
If so, this could be done in chunks. As things stand, the panel has a scheduled meeting on the 5th of September. We've been advised that the Commissioner isn't able to attend on that big date because of a pre-arranged personal commitment. There is limited merit in the panel having a meeting without the Commissioner. So therefore, the panel is asked to agree to find a new date for the meeting in September. If we're able to hit on that date at the meeting now, then great. But if that's not possible, then we'll do something after the meeting. If the panel is happy that it is rescheduled.
Are these Thursdays we're talking about?
Yeah.
Yes.
If possible, that's the standard day.
We've got a council development session in the afternoon, the 12th.
We'll deal with it offline. If there'd been a situation where a proposed date worked for everybody who's here, then fine. You could have agreed it now. We're not in that position, so we don't need to try and work through it now. So, just for clarity, members, in terms of the work programme, what I think I heard you saying was that you were happy to. So the Commissioner suggested various items that the panel might want to look at. So neighbourhood policing, prevention in the fire and rescue service, the big conversation, and I think something around support for young people. Those are areas that the panel is minded to look at. The Commissioner will clearly be working on a draft police, fire and crime plan, potentially coming forward to the formal panel meeting in December. But I think there was a suggestion that some activity involving the panel before that could be useful and could happen. The mention was made of the budget workshop happening at the start of the next calendar year, and that can be delivered. And then there was a clear wish from the panel to have an opportunity to meet with the service chiefs, albeit outside of a formal panel meeting.
Yeah, great.
Okay.
Can I just ask if it's possible, I don't know, you were talking about a more informal meeting. If we could meet with those service chiefs in conjunction with something that their fire and police cadets were doing, that would be good.
Yes, so not a Derby House, but an operational environment.
Yep.
Some people are completely new to the area of fire and rescue and police.
Absolutely. Good. I think we're done there then. Are we cooked on that one?
Yes.
Moving swiftly on. Item 14. So over to you, James.
Okay, hopefully relatively brief. The panel has a formal responsibility in relation to dealing with complaints about the conduct of the Police, Fire and Crime Commissioner. It delegates parts of those functions, including delegated the role of carrying out informal resolution of non-criminal complaints to a complaint subcommittee. The purpose of the report is to ask the panel to reappoint the complaint subcommittee for 2024-25 by identifying the members for it. So what the panel is asked to do, if I could find the right report, is to thank you. So appoint 4 councillor members, 3 from the Conservative political group as the majority group on the panel, and 1 from the minority political group, who are the Labour members of the panel, to the subcommittee. All of the independent panel members are appointed but act as a pool, with the intention that one of the 3 independent panel members attends any complaint subcommittee. The complaint subcommittee is only convened as and when necessary, so we hope it never needs to meet in the year ahead, and because there are no complaints about the conduct of the Commissioner. Happy to take any questions otherwise on the report, Chair.
Thank you, sir. Councillor Mercer.
As a couple of the people that are no longer on this committee, I would be happy to serve on that committee.
Okay, Andre.
Thank you. The same, Chairman. I would also like to offer the opportunity. I have been a sub for that committee, but happy to sit on the main committee as needed. Thank you.
Councillor Maxwell.
I would like to offer my services as well for that committee.
So, Councillor McGee.
Sorry.
We've got 4. Is it 4? So
4, 3 Conservatives and 1 Labour.
So we've got 3. So
That's why I was speaking.
Yes.
I think I will go, and then can you loop Wendy into all comms, and then we can just, is it all right if we kind of between us, whoever can make it, do that?
Yeah, there's scope to appoint substitutes as well.
Great,
so
yeah.
Including for the
Put
Conservative.
one down. Then
Yeah, if you put me down, and then Wendy and I can just decide.
You've got 3. Are you one of the 3?
No. So, Mercer, Gonzalez, De Savage and Maxwell. As things stand.
Be a substitute. I'll be a substitute.
And we do provide training to all panel members involved in the subcommittee before they're required to carry out the role in earnest. Four councillor members, 3 from the Conservatives, Mercer, Gonzalez, De Savage, Maxwell, and McGee, with Randall substituting from Labour.
okay, that's that one covered off. So we're drawing a close now to this first part of the meeting, so there's no urgent business being raised in advance. So we'll close that part of the meeting.